What if I told you the single best financial advice costs absolutely nothing to implement? It's a simple rule that can save you from buyer's remorse, bad investments, and mountains of debt. And the best part? It's shockingly easy. Before we dive deeper into this game-changing secret, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. You won't want to miss out on simple tips like this that will absolutely transform your financial future. We live in a world of instant gratification. With one click, you can have almost anything delivered to your door. This convenience is amazing, but it also creates a huge financial danger zone for our wallets, one we rarely see coming. Marketers are experts at exploiting this. They use powerful psychological triggers like limited time offer or only 3 left in stock. These phrases are designed to create a sense of urgency, forcing you to act now and think later. We buy things not because we need them, but because of how they make us feel. A tough day at work can easily lead to a retail therapy session that our budget simply can't afford, creating a cycle of regret. This emotional decision-making isn't just for small purchases. It extends to big life choices like cars, vacations, or even houses. The excitement can easily cloud our judgment, leading to long-term financial commitments we later regret making. Think about the last time you felt that intense urge to buy something. That feeling, that dopamine rush, is a powerful force. Our brains are hardwired to seek pleasure, and a new purchase provides an immediate and satisfying hit. But that feeling is temporary. Soon after the purchase, the excitement fades, and you're left with the item itself and, more importantly, the bill. This is the cycle of buyer's remorse, and it's a difficult one to break. We often justify these impulse buys with flawed logic. I deserve it, or it was on sale, so I was actually saving money. These are mental traps that keep us stuck in a cycle of poor financial habits. The consequences pile up over time. What seems like a small, harmless purchase here and there can accumulate into significant credit card debt, depleted savings, and a constant feeling of financial stress and anxiety that never goes away. So, how do we fight back against our own brain chemistry and clever marketing? The answer is incredibly simple, and it costs absolutely nothing. I call it the $0 rule, and it will change how you view every purchase. The rule is this: for any non-essential purchase over a certain amount you set for yourself, you must enforce a mandatory waiting period. This isn't about denial, it's about intentional delay. It's about giving yourself a moment to breathe. This waiting period could be 24 hours for smaller items, like a new gadget or a pair of shoes. For larger decisions, like a car or a vacation package, you might extend this period to 72 hours or even a week. The specific timing isn't as important as the principle itself. The core idea is to create a buffer between the initial emotional impulse to buy and the final action of actually spending your hard-earned money. It's a simple, powerful circuit breaker. This rule costs $0 to implement. You don't need a special app, a financial advisor, or any fancy tools. All you need is a little bit of discipline and a commitment to your own financial well-being and long-term goals. It works because it directly counters the tactics used against you. The limited time offer suddenly seems less urgent when you've committed to waiting a day. That sense of manufactured scarcity begins to dissolve, revealing the marketing tactic for what it is. The primary benefit is that it allows the initial emotional high to wear off. That intense "I must have this now" feeling is fleeting. By waiting, you give your logical brain a chance to catch up and ask the important questions. Do I really need this? Can I truly afford it without compromising my savings goals? Is there a better or cheaper alternative available? These are the questions that impulse and emotion are designed to make you ignore in the moment. This pause forces you to move from being a reactive consumer to a proactive decision maker. You are taking back control from the marketers and from your own impulsive tendencies, which is the first step towards true financial freedom and peace. Think of it as a cooling off period. Just like you might step away from a heated argument to calm down, this rule lets you step away from a heated purchasing decision. It allows for clarity, perspective, and much smarter choices. The psychology behind this is fascinating. Our brains have two systems, a fast emotional system and a slower logical system. Impulse buys are driven entirely by that first fast system. The pause engages the second, more deliberate one. When you see an ad for a flashy new phone, your emotional brain lights up. It imagines the status, the fun, the new features. It screams yes without considering the cost or the fact your current phone works perfectly fine. The $0 rule acts as a speed bump. It slows down that emotional reaction and says, hold on, let's let the logical brain have a look at this. It provides the space needed for a more balanced evaluation to take place. During this waiting period, you can do some simple research. A quick search might reveal that the product has terrible reviews or that a new model is coming out next month. This is information you would have missed otherwise. You also get a chance to check in with your budget. Not just a quick mental check, but actually looking at your accounts. Does this purchase align with your goals? Will it push you into debt or prevent you from saving? This process also helps you reconnect with your long-term goals. Is that new jacket more important than your dream vacation fund? Is that expensive dinner out more valuable than contributing to your retirement account? The pause forces this comparison. Over time, consistently applying this rule rewires your brain. You start to derive more satisfaction from making a smart, deliberate choice than from the fleeting high of an impulse buy. You begin to value control over sheer consumption. It builds a powerful muscle of financial discipline. Each time you successfully wait and decide against an unnecessary purchase, you reinforce a positive habit. This makes it easier to make good decisions in the future, creating a positive feedback loop. This isn't about depriving yourself of things you enjoy. It's about ensuring that the things you choose to spend money on are genuinely worth it and truly add value to your life, rather than just being a temporary emotional fix. The beauty of the $0 rule is its scalability. It applies to a $50 pair of sneakers just as well as it applies to a $5,000 investment opportunity. The principle remains the same. Create space for deliberate thought. So, how do you put this into practice today? It's simple. First, define your threshold. This is the dollar amount above which the rule kicks in. For some, it might be $50. For others, it might be $200. Choose a number that feels slightly uncomfortable but realistic for your spending habits. The goal is to catch those non-essential purchases that tend to add up without you noticing. This number is personal, so don't compare it to others. Next, create a waiting list. When you feel the urge to buy something over your threshold, don't just try to forget about it. Write it down. Put it in a note on your phone or in a physical notebook. This simple act of writing it down acknowledges the desire without giving into it. It tells your brain, I hear you, we're considering this, which can often be enough to soothe the initial impulse to purchase immediately. Now, use your waiting period productively. Let's say you've set a 48-hour rule. During that time, spend just 15 minutes doing some due diligence. Read reviews from multiple sources, not just the product's own website. Look for alternatives. Is there a less expensive brand that offers similar quality? Could you buy it used and save a significant amount? Is there a way to achieve the same result without buying anything? This is critical thinking. Check your budget in detail. Don't just guess if you can afford it. Look at your income, your fixed expenses, and your savings goals. See exactly where this money would come from and what you would be giving up. You'll be surprised how often, after 48 hours, the desire has completely vanished. The item that seemed so essential 2 days ago now feels trivial. You can simply cross it off your list with a sense of relief and accomplishment. What if you still want it after the waiting period? That's perfectly fine. The rule isn't about never buying anything. It's about ensuring your purchases are intentional. If you still want it, you can buy it with confidence. You'll know it wasn't just an emotional whim. You've thought it through, done your research, and confirmed it fits within your financial plan. This eliminates buyer's remorse and replaces it with a feeling of smart, empowered spending. Let me share a quick example. A friend of mine saw a high-end coffee machine on sale for 40% off. The deal was ending that day, creating immense pressure. He was so close to buying it, thinking of the money he'd save. But he decided to apply the rule. He put it on his list and waited. The next day, he realized he barely had the counter space for it and remembered he had a perfectly good French press he actually enjoyed using. The deal almost cost him hundreds of dollars on something he didn't need and wouldn't have much room for. The pause saved him from a classic marketing trap, turning a potential waste into a clear financial win for his budget. This applies to bigger things too. Someone I know was about to jump on a hot stock tip they heard from a coworker. The fear of missing out was intense. They felt the pressure to invest thousands of dollars immediately. Instead, they enforced a one-week waiting rule. During that week, they researched the company. They discovered its financials were weak and the tip was based on pure speculation. The stock ended up tanking a few weeks later. That 1 week of pause didn't just save them a few $100s on a gadget. It saved them thousands of dollars in potential investment losses and taught them a valuable lesson about hype versus sound financial strategy. The pause proved invaluable. These stories aren't exceptions. They are the norm for people who practice this rule. It consistently protects you from your own worst impulses and the external pressures that are constantly trying to separate you from your money. The impact goes far beyond just saving money on individual purchases. Implementing this simple habit builds a foundation of financial mindfulness that will bleed into every other area of your financial life in the best way possible. You start to question everything. Do I need that subscription service? Is my insurance plan the best value? Am I paying too much in bank fees? The habit of pausing and questioning becomes automatic, making you a smarter consumer. This leads to a profound shift in your relationship with money. You move from being a passive participant to an active architect of your financial destiny. Money becomes a tool to build the life you want, not a source of stress. The money you save by avoiding these impulse buys can then be redirected to things that truly matter. You can pay down debt faster, build up your emergency fund, or start investing for your future and for retirement. Suddenly, your big financial goals like buying a home or retiring early seem much more achievable. They are no longer distant dreams, but concrete targets you are actively working towards with every smart decision you make each day. Imagine the feeling of peace that comes from knowing you are in complete control of your spending. No more end-of-month panic, no more guilt over purchases, just a calm confidence that your actions are aligned with your values. This simple, free rule fosters that sense of control. It reduces financial anxiety because you know you have a system in place to prevent major mistakes. It's a safety net that you build for yourself, one decision at a time. It also improves your appreciation for the things you do decide to buy. When a purchase is thoughtfully considered, you value it more. It's not just another piece of clutter, it's a deliberate addition to your life. This is the essence of intentional living. It's about making conscious choices, whether it's about how you spend your time, your energy, or your money. The $0 rule is a gateway to a more intentional and fulfilling life. It's not a magic bullet, of course. It requires consistency, but it's one of the highest leverage habits you can adopt. The effort is minimal, but the long-term rewards for your financial health and mental well-being are absolutely massive. Start small. Pick your threshold and try it on one purchase this week. See how it feels to pause, to reflect, and to be in the driver's seat. Experience the power of deliberate action and see the immediate positive impact. So the next time you face a big decision, don't just reach for your wallet, reach for the pause button. Because the most valuable financial tool isn't something you buy, it's a habit you build for free. What's the biggest purchase you're glad you waited on? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to hear it. For more financial tips, check out this video right here.